Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the greatest rock and roll stories in the universe, all from the fan's perspective. It's Rock Stories with the Brumster. Now, here's the host of the show, my rockin' daddy, the Brumster.
Hey, Rock Stories with the Brumster, and that's with two M's. If you see one M, get out of Dodge. By the way, you can check out Rock Stories with the Brumster Sundays at rockradio559.com every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time. And also as well on demand at the Brumster Spotify channel. But you can be an FOB and get access to all of our podcasts totally free. Be an FOB, a friend of the Brumster. Head on over to the Brumster Facebook page today and follow our channel. We'll make sure you get a free Today in Rock History with the Brumster every single day as well. Go to our YouTube channel, Today in Rock History with the Brumster, and like our videos and subscribe and get a free Today in Rock History every single day, applicable to that day's date, not just a generic one like you see normally. It's pretty cool. Rock Stories with the Brumster. What do? We pull back the curtain so that you can get the stories behind the scenes, favorite rock memories, concert memories, all from the fan's perspective. That's the important part of this program, is we're honoring all the rockers. We may have a few on from time to time. I've been in radio for almost 30 years, and so gonna go ahead and have some of the friends of the Brumster come on that are in rock and roll bands, etc. But most importantly, the heartbeat of rock and roll is with the fans. It's with you. And so that's why you're tuning in, living vicariously as we walk down through our rock and roll adventures of our guest on this program. Today on the show, my friend, a friend of the Brumster, a fan on the run, a friend of my Aunt Sue. Check out her past episode at Rock Stories with the Brumster Facebook page for our podcast. Danilo Fiani is on the program today. He's a fan on the run as well and a fan of rock and roll. Danilo, welcome to Rock Stories with the Brumster. How you doing, man?
Hi, Josh. I'm fine. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, thank you for coming on. And that connection, fans on the run. My Aunt Sue Weisenhouse, she totally rocks. And we've had some fans on the run on the program recently. And it's amazing. You really are one big rock and roll family, aren't you?
I am. and a player too, but I'm a big fan, yeah.
Right on. What do you play, Danilo?
Yeah, I play the guitar and I also sing. That's where I met Sue, by the way. I was playing in the Abbey Road on the River Festival. It takes place in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So I think we met in Louisville 5 years ago, maybe. And yeah, big Beatles fan also.
Awesome. And you've had your share of going to concerts and loving music. Let's walk our listeners down. Rock Stories with the Brumster. Danilo Fiani is on the program with us. From the fans' perspective, your favorite rock memories, rock adventures. Tell our listeners a little bit about some of your favorite first concerts, maybe.
Well, I think I can talk about international artists, which might be more interesting.
Yeah.
One show that I remember, it was, I think it was in 2010. I was on vacation in the United States and with a couple of friends. And we planned to drive. We had a month. So we planned to drive from California to New York, but we never did it. We spent 2 or 3 weeks in California. We just stayed in California. But during that trip, I realized that Paul McCartney was playing in Philadelphia, and I had never seen him. Although I'm a big Beatles fan, Paul. I live in Rio, in Brazil. So Paul had been here. He came here, I think, in 1990 or 89. I'm not very sure, but I was too young, and I wasn't a Beatles fan yet, so I didn't see him here. And he didn't come. He only came back after my trip. I could never know if he was ever coming back to Brazil, so I had never seen him. And I found out about this show in Philadelphia, and then I said, "Oh, come on! I need to go to Philadelphia. I need to take a plane and go there." So we had already left California. We went to see the Grand Canyon, and I took a bus to Tucson for buying a specific guitar that I wanted to buy. And then I took the plane to Philadelphia, and I had no tickets at all. I didn't, because I'm a terrible planner. So I only found out about Paul's show when I was already in the United States. So the show was sold out. And I was crazy enough to take a plane and by any chance to try to find a ticket. So I tried Craigslist and I couldn't. And well, I just took the plane, and I think I stayed for 2 or 3 days in Philadelphia, and I took a subway to the stadium, and I just wanted to be there. And I remember I talked to some guys, I think they were Irish, and they were going to the show. Obviously, they had T-shirts and stuff. And I talked to them, "Oh, do you think that maybe I can find tickets?" And then they told me that there should be some guys outside with these signs like buy tickets, and they normally buy and sell outside the stadium. So the very first guy that I saw with this sign, he had the tickets for me. Of course, I bought it much more expensive than it would be if I had bought officially. And then I could be there. I remember I was so thrilled that the plan I got right. So it was the very first time that I saw Paul live. And I still remember that show very well. It was like one of the most important shows that I've ever been, and I was so touched. It was awesome.
You're like, I made it in here. Oh my gosh, right?
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it, because it was a whole trip. Of course, that if I couldn't find the tickets, it was like I was close to New York, and after that I went to New York, and I could visit some places in Philadelphia too, which I liked. But it was not the main reason that I traveled. So I was like, wow. And I remember that I stayed beside the lady that sold the tickets for the outside, because she had a friend that couldn't come, and then she sold her tickets to this guy. And she asked me, "Oh, so you're the guy who bought my ticket?" Yeah. And I think she was a fan, but not a big fan of Paul McCartney. She was enjoying the show. But I was like, it was a dream come true since I was a teenager. And I don't know, I dreamt about this show like for 15 years maybe. And I remember that when he started playing Band on the Run, I started crying. I couldn't stop myself from crying the whole song. And this lady, she looked at me when I was crying, and she couldn't understand why I was crying. I think she didn't understand my emotion. And she said, "Oh," she just thought it was strange. And I thought it was funny that for me it was obvious the reason that I was crying, but for her it was not that obvious maybe, but it was a big
thing for me. Right. Happy tears, man. Exactly. It's almost the same kind of feeling that someone gets, and they get that championship trophy and the tears are coming down, you know. It's like, I'm here. I did it. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Like dreams can come true.
Yeah, for sure. Something that I never. These things that happen in life that you don't really think about, and you just live and go. And after that, you say, "Oh wow, I came here and I made it." So it's, I like these things in life.
Rock Stories with the Brumster, Danilo Fiani, our guest today on Rock Stories with the Brumster. Real rock stories from the fans' perspective at rockradio559.com every Sunday at 11 a.m. California time, Pacific Standard Time. And also as well at The Brumster, that's 2 M's, The Brumster Facebook page. We have all of our podcast episodes uploaded there, so go there. Be an FOB, a friend of the Brumster, and follow the Brumster Facebook page. And of course, right here at rockradio559.com. Danilo Fiani. Man, I'm so glad got you on the program in Brazil right now, and we're on different times. But, we made it work, man, through technology. This is great. Now, you were talking a little bit about a lot of international stars and concerts that you've seen before as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, not a lot, but yeah, I've seen some. I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen also, and well, I remember this show that he made here in Rio. It was during Rock in Rio, which is a very, very a kind of famous rock festival here. Happens, I think, every 2 years, and he came here. Maybe I don't remember, it was 2015, something like that. And well, his show was awesome, and he played the whole Born in the USA album. So he played all the songs on that album. Just something that I was like I had never seen an artist doing that live, and well, I was a big fan. Maybe that was this was the best probably show I've seen.
No, you're right, Danilo. Normally artists, especially big ones like the Boss. I mean, Bruce Springsteen, he's, super duper star status, right? I mean, he's an icon.
Yeah.
And normally you would expect someone like that with decades and decades of hits to basically just do a greatest hits evening with a couple of special songs or maybe a new song because they're an artist. They want to play their new stuff too, kind of thrown in there. But the entire Born in the USA, the entire album, just from top to bottom. Are you serious? That is kind of cool, man.
Yeah, right, isn't it? And that well, after my first Paul show, he came to Brazil. Like I've seen him, I think 3 times when he came, but back to Brazil after 2 decades. And of course, I love them, but since I'm a big fan, I was expecting something, but Paul plays, he had like lots of hits, and his policy is to always play the hits because he thinks that the fans, they want to listen to all the hits. But yeah, he might be right, but he has also fans that would love that he would play like maybe one iconic album, such as Band of the Run, for example. But yeah, Bruce did that. And there's one thing that I regretted so much. I live in Copacabana, which is a neighborhood here in Rio. And Bruce, he was staying in a hotel very close to the place where I lived, really walking distance. And I saw after that the fans were down, like, waiting for him to show up. And he not only showed up, he came down with the guitar and he played and sang with the fans. And I only found about this like 1 or 2 days after that. And I was like, I can't believe it. It was like, I regretted so much that I wasn't aware of that I wasn't there, because this would have been something, wouldn't it? he just came down with his guitar and played like a couple of songs with the fans. I said, who does that, right? Which rock star would do that? I just couldn't imagine something like that, and he did. Well, the boss is the boss.
He just is. He just is. And he's a feeler. People don't know this about him, but Bruce Springsteen, he's brought attention to it as well, that he goes through episodes of melancholy or like depression. A lot of artists go through that, where they get really depressed for a while, and and then they come back and they get out and perform at that very high level and make everyone happy, and then they're completely zapped dry. And he's talked about going through that. He is a real feeler. He's got a big heart, as far as just his emotion is concerned. So for him to come down, and frankly, he is icon status, and so he doesn't have a ton of bodyguards. He's walking down the hotel lobby with his guitar and says, hey, I'll play for you guys right here. That right there just means like he has a connection with his fans beyond most folks.
Yeah. Yeah, he really, it shows that he really likes this connection and likes to be there. And he's special, really. When he came to Rio, I think he only came here like 2 times maybe. And I think first time was like in the 90s, in the beginning of the 90s. So he came back like 25 years after that. And well, he opened the show with a song by maybe the most important rock star in Brazil. So he learned the song in Portuguese, and he started his own show playing this song in Portuguese. And I said, oh wow, this guy. So he showed his respect for this Brazilian rock star who is already dead, but he showed his respect for the audience too. So look, I'm Bruce Springsteen, but he didn't need to do that, but he wanted to. He wanted to pay his tribute to Brazilian music as well, and also to this big personality in Brazilian music history. And I think this puts Bruce in a very human status, being the guy that he is. So this was one moment unforgettable for me.
Yeah, when someone comes and tries to speak in your language, even if it's broken, not the best translation in the world, just the fact that they're trying to speak in your language, it goes a long way as far as respect is received by other people, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And when he comes and sings the whole song in Portuguese, it's like, come on, this guy is awesome. Yeah, it's out of this world.
Right. You would normally see an artist maybe come out and just say a couple of words in Portuguese, which if that's all they did, it would be a sign of respect and cool. But to do the whole entire thing, yeah. What? Whoa.
Yeah. This was like fantastic.
Well, I anticipated a great story about seeing the boss, and then it folds into a personal, intimate show with fans at the hotel. Downstairs from the lobby, the boss man comes carrying his guitar and says, hey, let's do an encore right here for everyone. When he did that, were people pretty respectful of boundaries and not trying to push on him and get, sign this, sign that? Or were they kind of kicked back and kind of realized what he was doing, and everybody, did the dance and it was respectful and, easy going? Or what was it like?
Well, I wasn't there. I just regretted I wasn't there. I found out after, but I think it was nice. It was like I don't really know. I just dreamed that I wished that I was there, but it wasn't, fortunately.
Yeah, we're living through the story of it happening here at Rock Stories with the Brumster, so much so that same thing in my mind. I have this vision of him walking down with his guitar into the hotel lobby and just saying, "Hey, you guys, I'll go ahead and play a little bit. What do you want to hear? All right, here you go." I could see that happening, man. That is so cool. Regular people,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Now, you play music as well. What's your favorite music to play, Danilo?
Well, I can say that I play the Beatles song a lot, so it was the reason that I really wanted to learn the guitar and sing. So I couldn't give you different response. I played the Beatles song a lot, mostly George Harrison tunes, but yeah, I think they are internationally these are the songs that I like to play and sing more. I also dig Cat Stevens a lot, so I love to play his songs. And yeah, I would stick to these two.
Hey, if you can play some George Harrison, that right there in and of itself, winner, chicken dinner. That is fantastic, Danilo. I love George Harrison. My guitar gently weeps. I always YouTube it all the time. When Prince, the late Prince, rest in peace, took over the show. And I heard this once before, a couple years back, a radio DJ in Fresno said the greatest rock concert he ever saw. I'll let you know when we come right back after this break. And then he comes back after the break and makes us wait for it. And he goes, Prince was the best. I was like, really? I never didn't give a chance to see him. I saw him on TV and that's about it. And listened to him on the radio, etc. But Prince comes in at the concert to honor George Harrison. He had just passed. Tom Petty's up there. Jeff Lynne's up there. And they're doing My Guitar Gently Weeps. And Prince just takes over on the guitar solo, and it was off the chains. But do you play that song as well, My Guitar Gently Weeps?
Yes, of course, yeah. Lots of times. Yes.
Rock Stories with the Brumster. Danilo, thank you so much. Danilo Fiani. You're in Brazil, so there's a tiny delay. I appreciate you dealing with my technical difficulties. Thank you, Danilo. So continue on. Yeah, continue on with your awesome stories, man.
Yeah, I think. And by the way, I remember this. I've seen this video a couple of times. That Prince takes over, and I think he throws the guitar up. After the song ends, he just throws the guitar up. I remember that. Well, I don't think I have some great stories about that. I remember seeing Cat Stevens in Rio. This was a big concert that I've been to, but well, it was just a show. I wish I could talk to him and see him, but I couldn't. But this was one of those shows that I was expecting to see in my life, and I could made it. I love him too, so and he still sings so well. Like he has the same voice that he did in the 70s. But yeah, I don't remember many outstanding stories of concerts in my life.
You mentioned Rock in Rio. That was like concerts galore, right? It's a great festival. Did you see any other bands, or who else participated that year with the Boss in Rock in Rio?
Oh, in this edition, I came to see the Boss really, but I've seen the Who playing here, which was a big show in another edition. It was also the first time that I saw them, and they rocked. They were awesome.
I heard in Rio you guys know how to party down and have fun. Is that true?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. By the way, Carnival, which is normally in February, just happened last week because it was postponed. And yeah, we can party. We love to party. It's a partying city, and a beautiful city though. It's, well, if you've never been, you should, because everybody loves this place, and also I do.
What do you love about it as far as, like, when you think of rock and roll, you think of fun, you think of partying and Rio, you know, what food and beverage goes along with that? What pairs well?
Well, you mean during the parties?
Yeah, you know, just the whole season of it all. What would you recommend to someone coming to see Rock in Rio the next go around, or Carnival the next go around in Rio de Janeiro, and someone decides based on hearing you here, you know what, I'm going to go check out that party. I'm going to go check out a band playing at Rock in Rio at an upcoming event. Hey, while they're there, what would you recommend they eat and maybe try to drink, you know, while they're there?
Well, if you come to Rio, you definitely need to try caipirinha, which is caipirinha, the name. It's a beverage made of cachaça, which is a drink of the sugar. It's made from the sugar cane. It's quite strong, so it's cachaça, lemon, ice, and sugar. Very good, but it has cachaça has 39% of alcohol, so it's quite strong, but yeah. But it's sweet and good to taste. And the food, if someone comes to Rio, they need to try feijoada, which is a very typical dish of beans and meat, which historically it came from the slaves, and it's just delicious and very, very famous in Brazil. Everybody loves it, so they definitely need to try to eat a feijoada and drink caipirinha and try to walk straight after that.
I can smell the delicious flavor just coming off the steam up to my senses to just smell all of it. It smells so good. Oh, wow. Theater of the mind, right?
It is. And by the way, I'm hungry right now, and I wish I could. I was eating a feijoada.
You're making us all hungry, Danilo. Danilo Fiani calling us live right now from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And he's a fan on the run. Hey, as we wrap our call up, thanks again for being on here, sharing your rock stories with the Brumster and our audience. So as we wrap the call up, let's do full circle back to Fans on the Run. You're officially now a member of their group, aren't you? Talk a little bit about Fans on the Run for folks just tuning in.
Oh yeah, well, I used to play in a band until 2019, which we went to Liverpool for the Beatle Week every year since 2013, so it was a while. But we left and formed another band, and we are going to Liverpool in August to play for the Beatle Week, which is called the Harrison and McCartney Tribute. So it's a band that only mostly plays, I would say, songs by Paul and George from the Beatles and the solo careers of them all. So, we are going to Liverpool in August to play, and we are thrilled because it's going to be the first time of this project. And in the end of May, I'll be in this festival that I mentioned, Abbey Road in the River, which is in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And well, I'll be playing acoustically songs by Cat Stevens and also by George. And we formed a band called Some Other Guys for playing Beatles songs at all. So yeah, I will be in a month. I'm going to be in America for these shows, and I'll also in this festival at the Road and the River. I'll be playing with Kevin Pring, which is he plays George in the Fab Four, which is a very famous Beatles tribute act in America, and I'll be joining him for his band, and we'll be playing George Harrison tunes also in the festival. So I'm gonna be quite busy, but quite happy also.
This guy is traveling everywhere, and not only that, inside of your heart. You know, the music takes you places that you never thought you'd go. You start off in California, you and your friends thinking we'll get a car or something, and we'll do like Cannonball Run, and we'll drive all the way to New York. And the next thing you know, you're in Arizona, just checked out the Grand Canyon, and you and your friends go, oh my gosh, wait a minute, Paul McCartney, he's playing in Philadelphia. And you end up flying there. You don't even have tickets yet. You end up getting someone selling tickets outside. You're just happy to be near where this is happening. And then bada bing, bada boom, you're in the show. And just, wow, music takes you places. If you live life like an adventure, it's good to plan. It's good to plan. Okay, I understand, but I'm more like you. Life is more fun when you're adventurous about it. And that's what I love about this story, man. Your life's an adventure, and you're excited because you don't know what's going to happen next, huh?
Yeah, I think music has given me so many blessings in life, really. I love to play, but I love the people too that I meet all around. I think the life that music gave to me, it's just I wouldn't ask for another one. I wouldn't ask for a different one. So I'm very happy about what my life is giving to me, or has given to me all these years. And I'm about to be 40 years old in 4 days. 4 days? Yeah, 4 days. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy of the blessings and the gifts that life in music has given to me. So yeah, and I'm not a planner, so things are just happening, and I thank God for all this.
Praise God. Yes,
also.
yes. We got to give glory to God. 100%. People tune in here. You might be a different religion, you might be a different type of person, but I got to tell you, when you tune in to Rock Stories with the Brumster, we're always going to give glory to our Creator. 100%, man. I'm so glad you came on. Danilo Fiani, thanks for joining us today on Rock Stories with the Brumster. If our listeners want to listen to some of your music or anything like that, do you have any of it posted or anything that you could share?
Well, I don't. I'm about to be releasing some singles of my own in this year, but nothing has been released yet. But very soon, I also make songs. So they are in Portuguese, though. But I'll be glad someone listens and like it in America, but not yet. I have some videos on my YouTube channel and some videos too in my Facebook and Instagram, but. Well, I think that's pretty much it. If you Google it, Danilo Fiani over there, you might see in the YouTube some videos of my own.
Nice. Well, thank you, Danilo Fiani, the man, the myth, the legend, together again for the first time. Not bad for the first time, huh? It feels like I've known you forever, Danilo.
Yeah, we should know personally someday.
That sounds like a plan, and
we should meet.
And you'll have to bring some of that delicious food from Brazil, man. Like, whoa! Oh,
I'll try to ship it to California.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, we have eaten it vicariously along with your awesome rock stories. Very fun to digest tonight, and thank you very much for joining us, Danilo. Hang on the line for our engineers, please. Rock Stories with the Brumster. Real rock stories from the fans' perspective. You can check it out at the Brumster Facebook page. Be an FOB. Follow our channel. All of our past episodes are uploaded there for the podcast. Rock Stories with the Brumster, also available at the Brumster Spotify channel, and every Sunday at 11 a.m. right here at rockradio559.com. Thanks for rocking with us right here for Real Rock Stories with the Brumster. And by the way, that's with 2 M's.